Mirror, mirror. It was only at the age of 22 that I discovered my potential, my beauty, and my worth. But the 9 years lived between sexual abuse and a violent relationship were painful and dark. When I think about the time I lost and how insecure and fearful I was, I immediately think of the women who are making the same mistake because they don't know what to do. And maybe you are one of them. One of the things that strikes me most about women who have suffered abuse is their ability to reason. Despite everything that happened, the consequences, the scars, and the pain, their reasoning never surrendered. They know how to discern good from bad, beauty from ugliness, what pleases and what hurts, and it is through reasoning that they will learn to recognize their beauty and their potential. They may steal our dignity, our self-confidence, our worth, our dreams, our future, but they cannot steal our reason. It is through reasoning that we know tomorrow exists, that we can build a better life, and that we have the courage to challenge the impossible. And it will be through reason that you will learn to love and value yourself. Can you already see your beauty? This was a very difficult exercise for me. I did not consider myself beautiful, and because of that, I had no desire to take care of myself. I wore basic clothes, neutral colors. To me, no clothing could help me. I was very skinny and prone to illnesses as a child. Because of this, I took many vitamins, which had no effect until I reached puberty and began to gain some weight. But that didn't bother me. After all, I didn't want to be slim like the other girls. At that time, my hair was short, and when it grew, I only washed it once a week and kept it tied in a ponytail. If it became oily, I let it be. Why should I take care of myself and attract men's attention? To be abused again? I admired elegant women and vibrant colors, but those things were not for me. I needed to find my worth in another way. No one could even imagine what I was going through because I camouflaged my reality by doing more and doing better. The mirror was my enemy, perhaps just as it is for you. My motivation was to seek perfection in what I did. That's what consoled me. I needed to prove that I was capable, that nothing was too difficult for me to learn and achieve. Being a reserved person, I expected very little from others to avoid disappointment. If someone said, "Good morning," it was enough for me. In my mind, I had to surpass myself in everything to have value in front of my peers. I thought if I was very competent, they would respect me. I stayed far away from boys, except one whose only goal was to get the highest grade. He wouldn't pay attention to me anyway. Meanwhile, at home, I was suffering. The fear of saying something consumed me. I had to keep appearances. I had to suffocate my pain. Perhaps you haven't realized yet, but the way we dress reflects our inner self. I only dressed in black, brown, and beige, wore oversized clothes, and avoided dresses and skirts. As soon as I could choose my school uniform, I opted for pants, an oversized shirt, and a jacket 2 sizes bigger. When I wasn't in uniform, I wore something simple and flat shoes. No one in my family or church noticed that the little girl who once loved delicate dresses, pink and white, bows, flowers, and shiny shoes with a small heel, had become an expressionless, dull teenager. At 17, I graduated as an executive secretary and signed my first work contract at a multinational. That same month, I started college, working by day and studying at night. Don't think I changed my style just because I entered the corporate world. I continued wearing sober-colored suits and silk shirts, which made me look 10 years older. But not everyone reacts the same way. While I closed myself off and gave my all to find my worth through studies and a professional career, my friend tried to cover her pain in another way. That which for me was the worst enemy, for her was the best friend, the mirror. Instead of neglecting her appearance as I did, she invested everything she could in her beauty. For her, it wasn't enough to be beautiful. She had to be attractive. While I wanted to disappear in the crowd, she wanted to be found, desired, admired. For that, she changed her clothes, her behavior, and wore heavy makeup. She inspired confidence and sovereignty in the way she spoke. She enchanted everyone, especially men, who competed for her attention. She was only 16 years old, yet she drove married and much older men crazy. Anyone who saw her would never guess her behavior was born of violence and sexual abuse, for she seemed so confident. But those who knew her, as I did, without the physical and emotional makeup, understood that this was her way of coping with pain. Another consequence of abuse is awakening the sexual instinct. Even at a very young age, without understanding their own bodies, many girls develop hypersexuality, which can lead to borderline personality disorder, a serious condition. Some develop the habit of masturbation or get involved with many partners in an attempt to satisfy sexual needs without realizing that deep down they are trying to dominate, to no longer feel dominated or used. I sought my value through knowledge. My friend sought hers by controlling men and breaking hearts, never her own, or so she thought. She learned to use men so that she would never be used again, and for many years she rejected the word love. It was as if by using those who admired her beauty, she was taking revenge on the one who had abused her. But despite everything she did, all the relationships she had, and all the beds she lay in, she could not overcome what was inside her. She used and abused men, but when she laid her head on the pillow, she still carried the guilt of the abuse she suffered. Maybe you were like that too. Maybe you also try to defend yourself by making others suffer, thinking that the abuse stole your dignity and that there is no more reason to preserve yourself, to value yourself, to love and protect your body. Fortunately, this young woman also found a way out. Her transformation began the day she realized she didn't need to use anyone to prove her strength. In my case, I realized that despising my body would not erase the past, nor would it ease the greatest inner conflict I carried. That's right, we were abused, but it was we who were carrying the guilt. But look at what the Word of God says. But the wisdom that comes from above is first pure, then peace-loving, considerate, submissive, full of mercy and good fruit, impartial and sincere. If this message touched your heart, comment, "I trust in God," and share it with someone who needs this word today. May God bless you.